with an undefeated record so far. Sydney is 5-0. She has allowed 32 hits in 39 innings. Her control has been really good, only 5 walks. That's sensational. She has struck out 45 in those 39 innings, and the opposition is batting .221 against her.
First freshman All-American since Carly Hoover. No question she's the hardest thrower and has the most movement on the staff. And you see one of those unbelievable change-ups there. She's got some of the best stuff in the game. Beth Torina just glows when she talks about Sydney Berzon.
Moreno was 2 for 3 at the top of the order. She collected 2 of the 5 hits that the Cowgirls managed. Not that time, though, as Moreno swings over the pitch and Berzon strikes out the first Cowgirl. Here's Samantha Mundine, a freshman from Luling, Texas. Mundine had 3 at-bats against LSU pitching yesterday and picked up 1 base hit. Defensively, it's Allie Newland in left. Sierra Briggs is the center fielder. Mackenzie Ruderty is in right. And on the infield, it's Maddox McKee making her second start there in the absence of Danica Coffey. Taylor Pleasance is the shortstop. Sierra Daniel, another freshman, is getting the start at second base. And Daniel has played very, very well. This is her 9th start and her 12th appearance. The Tigers are 17 games into the season without a defeat. And right now, Sierra Daniel has started about half the games. And Raylene Gutierrez, of course, is at first base. That's Daniel running to her left to grab it. Over to Gutierrez and 2 outs.
And Daniel has been as advertised. She's made every play. We've been very impressed with her hitting. We've got some good-looking freshmen to take over the reins of what such a senior-laden infield.
Here's Alexis Dibley, the left fielder, batting .387. She's got 7 driven in. And yesterday against LSU pitching, Dibley had 2 hits. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a foul at the plate.
And a shocking, in my mind a little bit, Louisiana Tech run rule McNeese.
That was the game.
Shocking score.
That was the game preceding this one. It was 8-0, I believe.
Didn't see that coming.
Louisiana Tech has had a good tournament, and that will be the next opponent for LSU to wrap it all up tonight.
Absolutely. We just haven't seen Louisiana Tech lately.
This ball will be out of play on the left side, up into the sky and down into the bleachers. It is windy, blowing in from center field as it did last night, but there's a little more wind today under partly cloudy skies and some sunshine right now. Berzon delivers it inside.
Of course,
there you see Old Glory flanked by the other flags and all of the schools.
Except Vanderbilt.
Swing and a miss. Berzon strikes out Dibley along with Moreno, and a ground ball from Mundine, and a quick inning for Berzon. She faces the minimum. We go to the fielder, Allie Newland in left field, Taylor Pleasance the shortstop. Raylene Gutierrez is at first base batting 4th, followed by Mackenzie Ruderty, the right fielder. Macy Bergeron is catching. Hitting 7th at third base is Maddox McKee. The designated player is Kelly Lynch, and batting 9th is the second baseman, Sierra Daniel. And that's a lineup which will face Shaylin Sanders. She's a right-hander with 7 decisions in 10 appearances, a 4-3 record. She has started 8 games now, counting this one. She's thrown 3 complete games, 48-plus innings, only 40 hits allowed, 13 walks, 38 strikeouts.
Best pitch is a screw. She's going to throw curve, rise, off speed. Her off speed is a drop and a change. So she's going to fluctuate in her speeds. Highest speed is 63. She can take something off of the highest speed at 60 and her changeup's at 50. And do you want to say why Briggs is leading off?
Briggs hitting .321. She's got 4 extra base hits among her 17. 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. That came this weekend. And she's driven in 9.
So the 1-2 punch of Briggs and Coffey has been broken up because of a injury to Danica Coffey suffered last night.
It did not look good last night, and we understand there will be a statement from LSU later today regarding Danica Coffey's injury and her future.
That was close at first. I think she's going to ask for the headset.
Well, the first base coach and Briggs are under the impression that Briggs beat the throw.
I thought at first that there was going to be no question, but then right at the end, I wasn't so sure. But now I think she might be safe again.
So we're going to have an early review here. I thought she was safe the first time I saw the replay. I thought she was out the second time.
Oh, just the opposite of what I thought. But Bryce Neal, first base coach over at first, new coach on the staff, standing right there, and
now
he
remember,
thought she was
Briggs
safe.
has to beat the ball, and I'm not quite sure she actually beat the ball to the glove of the first baseman. We'll find out in a moment, but certainly worthy of a challenge early. Don't forget, it will be LSU and Louisiana Tech to wrap up the Purple and Gold Challenge sponsored by the Tigers. And LSU, at 17 wins and no defeats, is the only Southeastern Conference team with a perfect record so far.
Scratching and clawing and getting close, but they have found ways to win every ball game so far. Either pitching, hitting, great defense, combination of everything, but a lot of guts. Of course, it's a senior-laden team that might have lost one of its extremely valuable cogs in their offense and defense, but they've got an able-bodied freshman manning third base that has played a little bit since last night, Maddox McKee, who's been excellent so far. And here comes the call.
After further review, the call has been changed at first base.
So we'll take another look at this.
Does the ball beat the runner? Ooh, right there, you thought it did. What say you, Lynn?
I'm surprised they overturned it. I'm not sure that she didn't beat the throw, but I didn't think there was enough evidence to overturn it after the original call of out. But a very good challenge for LSU.
Well, you got the first base coach standing right there, and he's saying safe, so.
And so did Briggs.
Well, the player's always going to think they're safe. Boy, we have been so lucky with the weather this weekend. We thought we might get some rain and be delayed or rained out, and we've had none of that. And here comes the crowd pouring in from the women's basketball game.
By the way, LSU was victorious in that game over Kentucky across the street in the Maravich Center. 77-56 was the final. LSU beating Kentucky in women's basketball. Angel Reese, 22 points and 14 rebounds. Flau'jae Johnson had 21 points and 7 rebounds. And Haley Van Lith had 15 points.
And that their senior final game in the PMAC.
So a 77-56 victory for LSU. Here's Allie Newland. Newland is hitting an even .400. Her 20 runs driven in is second on the team behind Taylor Pleasance, who has 29. There goes Briggs. The throw is not in time. A good throw, but Briggs beat the ball to the bag. And that is her 5th stolen base. She has not been caught. LSU does not run a lot and limits it to 2 or 3 players. Briggs and, of course, Coffey when she was available. Newland has run a little bit. Daniel is 3 for 3, but that's about it.
Well, you certainly aren't taking the bat out of Newland's hands to sacrifice in the first inning, so because Newland is about as hot as any Tiger on the team.
She really is. And she draws a base on balls, and that brings Taylor Pleasance to the plate. Her RBI total of 29 in 17 games is second highest in the SEC.
Batting for the Tigers, shortstop, number 17, Taylor Pleasance.
A base hit by Briggs on the infield, a Newland walk. Pleasance looks at a changeup for a strike. That's a good offering on the first pitch.
It is, and I think Pleasance is going to try and look at a few more pitches. She was swinging early the last couple of games.
She broke through with a late game base hit in the nightcap yesterday. That was her first hit of the doubleheader. 1 ball, 1 strike. LSU threatening in the first with its first 2 batters aboard. Raylene Gutierrez is on deck. Pleasance has played very deep and straight away. And Yvette, you've talked about it frequently in the early part of the season, but Pleasance, like many other Tigers who bat from the left side, does have the ability to spray the ball to left field.
They do a fantastic job as a team using the whole field to get base hits.
There's a
The
snap-back
throwback.
throw and a pretty close play.
Ooh, that was close.
Briggs was able to reverse and get in ahead of the tag down at second base.
You know, it's been a while since we've seen pickoffs. Here is ex-LSU standout Shelby Sunseri going out.
A basketball game there a few years ago and offered this to describe Lake Charles. I offered it to the Chamber of Commerce free of charge. They didn't take me up on it. But it was, welcome to Lake Charles, a place where you can shoot ducks in the morning, craps in the afternoon, and hoops at night.
Yeah, they got good hunting and fishing.
Here's the 3-2 pitch to Taylor Pleasance with 2 teammates aboard. It's lifted deep to left field. There is room out there, and the left fielder grabs it. That's Alexis Dibley. The runners hold on. So Pleasance flies to left field, and this brings on Raylene Gutierrez with the same RBI opportunity. Hall of Fame coach Yvette Girard and Lynn Rollins with you, and we are so thankful you've chosen to spend some time with us this afternoon. There'll be another game following this one on the SEC ESPN network between LSU and Louisiana Tech. And we hope you'll call a buddy and tell them that the games are on. A smash to center field, but there's room out there.
Look at this throw.
Briggs.
Is she there?
Is thrown out from center field. A beautiful 1-bounce toss into the glove of Riley Bouvier, and that was
Winning weekend. Cajuns played very well after getting run ruled by the Sooners.
After further review, the call has been overturned.
So the Cowgirls will have to go back to their defensive positions. LSU will put Briggs back at third base. Here's one more look at it. Great camera work by our LSU production crew. And Briggs clearly safe. So Newland returns to second base. Briggs is on third. Gutierrez flies to center field. And here is Mackenzie Ruderty with 2 outs and 2 teammates in scoring position. Steve, strike 1. That's a little bit off the plate, wide. Ruderty is hitting just under 400. She has started all 18 games. She has 17 base hits, 5 doubles, a triple, and a couple of home runs. So nearly half of her hits have been for extra bases.
Be a shame to lose 2 overruled calls. The Tigers really want to score here.
Here's the 2-1 pitch.
Staying away, 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 away.
And she misses, does Shaylin Sanders.
All screwballs.
Macy Bergeron, a right-handed hitter, is on deck. And the pitch.
Changeup misses.
It dropped out of the strike zone. She took something off of it. The bases are FOT, full of Tigers.
To the plate, catcher, number 12, Macy Bergeron.
There's Briggs at third, Newland at second, Ruderty on first.
Macy Bergeron, who grew up closer to Lake Charles than she did to Baton Rouge. Up with the bases loaded.
Ball 1. Bergeron has had a long home run this weekend, her second of the season. The outfield is pretty deep and straight away. The wind is blowing toward home plate. That's a very close pitch. It went Bergeron's way, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch.
Ooh.
Right there for a strike.
She might have wanted to swing at that. It's a curveball that stayed over the plate.
The infield is back. The Cowgirls need 1 out to get off the field, and Bergeron swings, pops it up. Left side, is there room? No, that one's out of the reach of the catcher and the third baseman.
And third baseman goes crashing into Shelby Sunseri in the dugout. Everybody's okay.
It's been kind of a homecoming lately for some former LSU players.
Yep. Pitchers.
Yeah.
Well, they're pitching coaches. They learned
Allie
from
Waljasper was here earlier.
Learned from a very good one in Beth Torina. Can this get out?
It's back at the wall,
No.
and it is caught on the warning track by Alexis Dibley. Bergeron gave it a ride, but Dibley was able to catch it on the warning track, and we move on. LSU threatens LSU. With 5-time College World Series coach and Hall of Fame coach Yvette Girard, I'm Lynn Rollins. LSU trying to remain unbeaten and go to 18-0 pending its game against Louisiana Tech tonight. Berzon has been all over the plate early in the circle for LSU. 13 pitches and 11 strikes.
That's
make
playable.
it 14 and 12 now. And Gutierrez comes into foul ground and makes the play. How about that, though? 14 pitches of it, 12 of them in the strike zone.
Work ahead, stay ahead. Don't lose your head.
That's her third strikeout. And here is Riley. Oh, I beg your pardon. That was a pop-up. Oh, Gutierrez stretches to the right side and makes the play. That's that angular first baseman, very smooth, very quick, very intelligent on the infield.
She just has taken another step. Brought her whole game up to another level.
Watch her react. Lean as a celery stick and very, very good at covering ground at first base. And she's got that instinct. People think that's an easy position to play. It is not in softball.
Well, it helped being a lefty there.
It really does. But you've got to have a chemistry with your second baseman, with your catcher, with your pitcher.
Got to have some sort of footwork.
So a pop-up in foul ground to Gutierrez. An unassisted play as Gutierrez goes to her right. And now Kelsey Gaspard hitting .250. This is the first game in which she has started this year. This is the 7th game in which she has appeared. 1 for 4 on the year.
Of course, we've talked about McNeese at length in the previous broadcast. They're favored to win the Southland Conference again. They have really dominated that league.
And James Landreneau has been a wonderful head coach in Lake Charles. He is really one of the already accomplished, bright, and upcoming young coaches in the game.
And they'll play a very competitive schedule. They play Cal, Baylor, Oklahoma, Central Arkansas, San Diego State, LSU, UL, Florida State. I mean, all of those teams were in the postseason play last year. LSU leads this series 27-4. But McNeese defeated the Tigers 4-3 last year in April in Lake Charles. And it snapped a 13-game losing streak then.
And you could not have squeezed another fan into that stadium that day.
Oh, no, yeah. When LSU comes to town, you go to Nichols, you go to Lafayette, you go to McNeese, you go to Ruston. The crowd is a sellout.
The 3-2 pitch. Chopped over the circle. Daniel's going to have to hurry, and she makes the play.
Once again.
It took only 9 pitches of it. But Daniel does Indiana Tech in a game following this one. And we'll have that for you on the air as well on the SEC ESPN network. Here's the youngster Maddox McKee, who has made a couple of starts in a row now in the absence of the injured Danica Coffey. And we do expect an announcement as to Coffey's status later today. She was injured last night in a horrific collision with her own catcher after Coffey was charging a popped-up bunt, made the play, and then she got caught up with her own catcher. Coffey went down with a very, very awkward and painful twist of the leg and knee and had to be helped off, and we wait for the decision on her future.
Yeah, it was just a freak play. Both players going for it, and Coffey just kind of got tangled in there. Didn't look good, didn't sound good.
Maddox McKee, who is a newcomer to third base, has replaced Coffey, and so far, in small test size, she's played well, both defensively and at the plate.
Made a couple of good defensive plays last night. Got
This
some
ball
pop to her bat.
Is driven out to center field, and there's another put out. Delaney Dunham has been tested early. LSU left the bases loaded in the first. We are scoreless in the bottom of the second. Here's Kelly Lynch, who was a two-way performer yesterday for the Tigers and did well.
Lynch had the game that I think we all have been expecting from her. She threw well, she hit well. I know that preseason Beth Torina had big hopes for her in this lineup, and that hasn't changed. Just had to get on track a little bit.
Lynch rips one deep to left center field, and it is caught as the left fielder got on her horse, galloped over deep into left center where the dirt and the grass meet, and that ball looked like it was going to leave the yard off the bat.
I thought so too, and so did you in that first response. But that cowgirl galloped out there. That was a good one.
Get on your horse and go get it. She lassoed it where the grass and the dirt meet on the warning track.
I like when they do that cowgirl dance.
Here's Sierra Daniel with 2 outs. Shaylin Sanders rocks and delivers high. Daniel, since entering the lineup, and this is her 9th start, is 11 for 23. That sounds almost like 500, doesn't it? 478 with 1 double. The rest have been singles, a couple of runs driven in. But how many lineups have the luxury of having a nearly 500 hitter at the bottom of it? Such has been the impact of the young Sierra Daniel. And it's not only that she's hitting the ball, she just appears to be very comfortable with the game at the plate or defensively or on the bases.
Yeah, the game is definitely not too big for her.
She's got a split grip and takes ball 4.
And she'll take it.
So a 2-out base runner, and this will bring on Sierra Briggs, who had an infield hit, stole a base, and was left at third in the first. And might we see Daniel on the move here? She is 3 for 3 on the base paths. Even if she's thrown out a bit, you've got your leadoff batter leading off the third. I think she'll be away at some point. Fairly early in the count. Briggs takes a strike.
And the last base was fairly evenly stolen. Couldn't get that out.
Ground ball to the hole. The only play is at second base. And the 6'4" fielder's choice erases Daniel, who was not moving on the pitch. So LSU sends only 4 to the plate. 0 ball game between LSU and the Cowgirls of McNeese. These teams battled at hammer and tong yesterday, and LSU won it 2-1.
Yeah, and good comeback so far from McNeese, because the previous game, 45 minutes ago, they got run ruled by Louisiana Tech.
That was an 8-0 victory for the Bulldogs.
So talk about every game is a different time, different occasion to do something else.
Reese Reyna at the plate for the first time, followed by Mariana Torres and then Delaney Dunham.
When you play 56, just you got to let it go.
Berzon takes care of business with her 3rd strikeout. There has not yet been a base runner for McNeese. And here is Torres, batting .227. She has started every game but 1. 4 of her 10 hits have been extra base hits.
I think her name is very pretty. Say it.
I do too.
Mariana Torres. Melodic.
Right now, Berzon is dealing from the bottom of the deck.
That's true. Ball is just falling off of the deck. If it was a marble on a deck of cards on the end of the table, there, and then it's not.
She's got that hard drop. Not only does it sink rapidly at some point in its flight, it gets there in a hurry.
She's just the epitome of a pitcher. She changes planes, so she's changing eye levels, changing speed, so she's throwing their timing off.
But don't you think slightly her velocity is up a little bit this year, and her control has been wonderful?
Well, that's exactly what she worked on in the offseason, and that's important to always stay one step ahead of the hitters.
This will be a chance for McKee. And a good stretch by Gutierrez, and they say she came off the bag. Gutierrez pleading her case, but McKee's throw was on the plate side. And it looked like she. Let's take another look.
I thought she did too, but of course she's out of challenges now, so
let's take another look.
I thought she had her. Let's see.
Nope, never really was on the bag. Never touched the bag.
Did the runner touch the bag? I don't know if the runner touched the bag because, of course, she went back to tag her, which she would do anyway, but I think it's standing because
I think they got it right.
There.
That'll be a throwing error on McKee, and you could see that ball just start sliding out of her hand as she
threw it sidearm.
Yeah, was delivering it. It just immediately started fading. And I think they got it right. I think Gutierrez clearly had come off the bag and never got back.
Yep. You are correct, sir.
Moreno at the plate. She struck out in the first. That's the first base runner for the Cowgirls. Well, if you like Mariana Torres's name, I bet you like Chrislyn Moreno's as well.
I don't know, there's just something melodic about that Mariana. Ooh, how about
she
that
got
gold glove?
She got it! Sierra Briggs laying out on her way to the infield. Plucks it off the grass, and that is...
Good ball game so far.
As it was last night. 2-1, the Tigers got the win. Newland and Pleasance and Gutierrez will come to the plate for LSU in the third. Allie Newland has done something this year, and it's current, that no other Tiger has done. And that is reach base in every game.
She's been that good. Oh, that ball just came up on her.
Newland hit it hard at the second baseman, who could not make the play cleanly. We'll see if they give Torres an error.
I mean, she's there, and then that ball just hits her in the heel, I guess. Did they give it an error?
Nothing has been decided yet.
Double play.
Line to the second baseman, back to first for the double play. Pleasance ripped it to Torres.
I think they're upset at first because they think that the first baseman's feet were not on the bag. She kind of shuffled them.
But right now the play stands.
I don't know if we can see this. Watch, Lynn. She's kind of doing a dance over there. Does she get her... See, look. I don't know if she has her feet on the bag. Too late now. You don't have another.
Let's take a look from high home and see if we can get a better angle.
I mean...
So here's another angle on this play.
You're going to ask Blue to get some help from the umpire at home. The umpire at home is going to be blocked out of the vision, so he's going to say, you know, I can't make that call.
And we don't have the other look, but we'll see what the umpires decide.
She's dancing over there at first, trying to find the bag with her foot. And from what I saw, I don't think she got it.
So that wasn't a Cajun two-step on the bag?
Well, no, that's one of those cowgirl stomps.
Gotcha. So apparently the play is going to stand as called.
He's not going to overrule that. He can't see it.
It's a 4-3 double play, a liner off the bat.
And you're out of challenges, so... And you won the other two challenges, so you can't say that was a bad move.
Gutierrez hits it the other way. The third baseman's up with it. And the throw from Riley Bouvier is on target, and that was a... McNeese's Shaylin Sanders has done the same. And the Cowgirls will bat in the fourth. We are scoreless. There's been only one hit in the game. And that was a leadoff infield single by Briggs. The pitch. Oh, what a change up to Mundine. Samantha bounced out to the second baseman Daniel last time. 2 quick strikes to Mundine. Berzon makes the overhand toss as she gathers the ball on the first base side. And there's the out. Berzon is making it look very easy to this point. She is in complete control.
She is, but the Tigers need to put a run on the board because these games, the longer they go on, always strange things happen.
Daniel gives ground, stays down on that ball. She looked it into her glove and then made the play.
She makes those little short, choppy steps, and she covers a lot of range. Shortest throwing the infield, second base to first.
How about this, Yvette? Berzon in 3 2/3 innings has thrown only 37 pitches. That's beyond economical. I mean, that's stingy.
That's very good.
Two Morning Doves just passed over the infield. Dove season is a long way away.
Daddy put me in the cane fields and let the BBs run on top of me, and then he said, go get them like I was a dog. Go get those doves that I just shot.
They are not easy to find on the ground.
No. That was my job.
The 2-1 pitch. Grounded to the right side again. Daniel charges it. That's an 8-pitch inning, and Berzon continues to be brilliant. But so far, no help offensively from her team. Welcome back, everyone. It's softball time at Tiger Park on the campus of LSU, not far from the Mississippi River. And we've got a splendid, old-fashioned fast pitch game going. No score between the Cowgirls of McNeese and the Tigers of LSU, the 5th-ranked Tigers of LSU, in the bottom of the 4th.
Yearly meeting between the two Louisiana powers. We said McNeese has just dominated the Southland Conference for years. James Landreneau has just done a fabulous job with his program.
Rudity lifts it to center field, and making the catch on the run is Dunham. The left fielder appeared to be there first, but Dunham called her off, and there's the first out.
She got on her horse.
She
just
did.
Covered some ground there.
Shaylin Sanders has been really, really good for McNeese.
Long throw. Ooh, did she get the tag?
She did not. Bergeron is able to get to first base. Let's see how that's ruled.
Blue's right there. I don't know if she was taking a long look or if she couldn't make up her mind whether she was safe or out. She's definitely not on the bag. Does she get her on? I think she was safe. Let's see. I don't know if she tagged her.
That's going to be a throwing error.
You think she tagged her? Hard to see.
Hard to see for me.
Even with your glasses on.
Here's Maddox McKee.
We've had some close plays at first base, at every base.
We have.
First base ump is getting worked over.
McKee lined to left field last time. She's making her second start in the absence of Danica Coffey. And if you missed our earlier statements about Coffey, we do expect a statement on her future after that very, very ugly injury last night. But we do expect later today a statement from LSU as to her condition and her future.
Ended a streak of phenomenal success between her and Briggs. The 1-2 punch.
Well, they had almost 140 consecutive starts together in the 1-2 order.
And of course, Coffey was didn't come in as a third baseman, kind of struggled at first, but really turned into a spectacular defense and offensive player.
And so now it's next man up, as the saying goes, and McKee is that next player. She lifts a very high fly ball to right field. It comes out of the heavens into the glove of Samantha Mundine.
Tigers aren't generating much offensively. It's a pitcher's duel right now.
And give Sanders credit. Berzon gets the headlines, but Sanders has matched her today.
She absolutely has.
There's been only one hit in this game.
Pitching coach in the other dugout kind of knows the Tigers.
Lynch rolls out into a fielder's choice. That was a 10-pitch inning.
Of course, Lake Charles is only about 2 hours away, and they always bring a little crowd. They had a great crowd here Friday night.
Berzon induces a half swing by Bouvier. Berzon has thrown 41 pitches in 4 innings. I mean, that is really, really economical.
It's about as effective as you can be.
It rolled up her arm, but she grabbed it and got it over to first base for the out.
I was wondering if it was going to play some tricks with her, but she handled it perfectly.
Berzon has been more stingy today than me after dinner writing a tip.
That might go in the Guinness Book Hall of Fame.
That's a foul ball past McKee.
So conference play for both of these teams is right around the corner.
This will be the final weekend of non-conference play for the Tigers. They will go to Kentucky for a 3-game set to open the SEC schedule. Newland is going to have to get on her horse, and she can't do it. It's over her head. Gaspard on the way to second base, and she's there.
Just a very well hit ball. Newland was playing in a little bit. No chance on that hit ball.
That's her first double and the first hit of the game.
Let's see this pitch. Can't really tell from that angle.
But that one was whacked. No chance for Newland to get back and get it.
Yeah, no question. Best hit ball for the Cowgirls today.
The double comes with 1 out.
You know, Lynn, this game is just racing along when you don't have any hits and have any runs.
Jada Munoz is going to bat for Reyna. Jada Munoz. We saw her yesterday, and if memory serves, she delivered a base hit in a pinch hit roll. Munoz takes a strike. A sophomore from San Antonio. A big swing and a miss.
Yeah, she's swinging a Berzon pitch there.
It's up to Bergeron to be a backstop and not let anything through. A runner in scoring position for the first time for the Cowgirls with 1 out. Ground ball right side, that's
hit.
through. Rudity picks it up in right. Here's the throw to the plate. Safe! The Cowgirls take the lead. The throw back down to second. Out right there. Munoz with an RBI single and then is thrown out trying to stretch it into 2 bases. But the Cowgirls on the Munoz pinch hit take a 1-0 lead in the 5th.
How about that coming off the bench? Going with that pitch, driving it to the right side. And Rudity has a gun in right field, but just a good jump. And
this throw a little bit off, just a little bit up the third base line. And you can clearly see Gaspard raking that left hand across the plate.
athletic slide, and then Bergeron, knowing that there's a trailing runner and makes that dart throw to second base to get the trailer.
Rolling around in the dirt somewhere.
Well,
Torres out of Pflugerville, Texas. The Cowgirls have taken a 1-0 lead, and that one bounces away. One run on 2 hits and 2 errors for the Cowgirls. No runs on 1 hit and 1 error for LSU.
of course, you always want to be aggressive, but that passed ball right there, you could have a runner in scoring position for McNeese, the runner that just got thrown out. Can't fault aggression. Got to make a perfect throw to get her. Easy to sit at home and say, "Oh, I wouldn't have done that."
No, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't be playing.
And you wouldn't be coaching.
Berzon finds the strike zone after falling behind 2-0. The count level at 2. And the Cowgirls have battled out to a 1-0 lead here in the 5th. Torres lays off the riser.
They're never going to be intimidated by coming into Baton Rouge and playing LSU.
No.
They play them so much.
And the Cowgirls play all over the country against the best competition the nation has to offer.
Cowgirls were an out away last year from going to Super Regionals.
Torres waves at a pitch out of the strike zone. LSU gets back to the dugout, but McNeese is first to the scoreboard. It's 1-0. We go to the bottom of the 5th in Baton Rouge. Cowgirls are the first to the scoreboard. They picked up a run in the 5th inning on a Jada Munoz pinch hit double, and then an RBI single by, or check it, Gaspard with the double, and then the RBI single by the pinch hitter Munoz. And the Tigers find themselves trailing in the bottom of the 5th, 1-0. This game is very similar to the one last night, where LSU had to rally for a 2-1 win. And right now it's Cowgirls 1, Tigers 0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Sierra Daniel at the bottom of the order hits first. She got jammed by Shaylin Sanders. Sanders has been spectacular at that. She has really kept LSU off balance. Has not had a strikeout pitch working. She has no strikeouts, but she's let her defense work.
James Landreneau just seems to find talent.
Well, and they play within themselves. They play confidently. They hustle. They don't make fundamental mistakes. Daniel fouls out to the left fielder Dibley. The only base hit for LSU today has been Briggs, who's at the plate now, with an infield hit to open the game. That's been it.
Definitely have been stymied.
LSU is 0 for 7 with runners on base, 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, had a chance early on to make a statement.
They were 0 for 1 with the bases loaded in the first. 1-1 on Briggs. Overall, the Tigers are 1 for 15 against Sanders. The right-hander delivers. Briggs tries to poke a bunt, and it takes a little left turn.
Got to tip your cap to Sanders. He's definitely controlling the Tigers.
McNeese is trying to do to LSU what UL did to Oklahoma today, breaking a 71-game winning streak for the defending champion team. Briggs safe at first base. You better get it and hum it when she's on the base path.
You better. What a great win for the Cajuns. They had not particularly played well in that tournament, but, you know, that's the kind of win that can change your season around.
7-5 the final. That record-setting 71-game winning streak is over.
And probably in about front of 4,000 people in the brand new Sooner Stadium.
Now this will bring on Newland as the Tigers try to rally with one out. Do you run Briggs? You got pretty good odds on the base paths if you do. And LSU has had a hard time stringing base hits together. Nobody but Briggs has had a base hit. Briggs has the 2 infield hits for the Tigers, and that has been all.
You take the bat. Well, you're not taking the bat out of Newland's hands, but you're not going to bunt her. Runners haven't been moving much.
Nope. Let's watch Briggs at first base. Not going anywhere after the strong bluff.
Well, it was a good decision because that pitch was on the outside corner. Might have been an easy throw down for Phillips.
2-1 on Newland.
Ooh, that was like the same pitch, wasn't it?
Remember that, to an umpire, they're like snowflakes. None are the same. Newland takes a deep breath.
She tried to come back with the same pitch in the same location. How about 3 times? Got it that time.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see if Briggs is indeed running on the 3-2 pitch. She doesn't have to. But sometimes this is a good one to go on.
I think I'm going.
Me too.
There she goes. And it worked.
Smashed up the middle. Briggs rounds the bag. Now she'll have to retreat.
Serena held her up. Briggs wanted to go.
Allie Newland follows the infield hit by Briggs with a ground single up the middle.
Probably a good decision because Dunham wasn't playing that deep and she got the ball quick. And this is a good time for Pleasance to bust out.
She's only had 1 hit this weekend, Taylor Pleasance. She lined into a double play last time. Pleasance on the year has been very good with runners in scoring position, batting .455 in situations like these. Pleasance is number 2 in the SEC in runs batted in. The pitch. Right down Nicholson Drive.
Any kind of base hit, Briggs is going to score. They are playing Pleasance deep.
Very deep.
She'll have no problem scoring.
And I've always wondered with the outfield this deep, why they are indeed that deep, because if a ball's hit over their head, it's a home
run.
run.
The fence. You're right.
So to me, you're giving up ground needlessly.
Hitter's pitch now.
The outfielders are scratching their backs on the fence. The 2-1. Grounded slowly to the right side. It takes a weird hop and goes into right field, and the Tigers have tied it.
Kind of ate her up, and she lunged for not necessarily a good pitch, but she put it on the ground to the right side, and it did its job.
That's going to be a bad hop single and an RBI for Pleasance. Briggs scores from second. Newland motored to third.
And here comes James Landreneau to get his team back in stride.
Princeton 4-1. Those are the finals.
Last tune-up before the second part of the season begins with conference play.
LSU at Kentucky to open SEC action. Here's Gutierrez.
Always a tough place for the Tigers to play. Should be interesting.
That changeup dives in for a strike. And you never know in early to mid-March what kind of weather you're going to get in Lexington.
Yeah, I was there one time when it was snowing.
Here's the 0-1. Another changeup, but that one drops away.
Almost got.
The coldest I've ever been at a softball or baseball game was at Kentucky. I don't know if they still do it a bit, but in baseball they would kind of have a rule. I don't know if it was actually on the books, but there was an understanding that they would let Kentucky play on the road for the first couple of weeks until it got a little bit later in the spring.
Well, obviously that's not true of softball because look, they have an opening weekend there.
Ground ball left side, smothered by the shortstop, but she's got no play.
And once again, Gutierrez does her job.
4 straight base hits now for the Tigers.
And the Tigers' balls right now seem to have some eyes.
Reese Reyna did an outstanding job of smothering this. But LSU has taken the lead on the infield single by Gutierrez, scoring Newland. Giglio is at second base. She would score on anything out of the infield. And here is Ruderdy. Strike one.
Tigers would sure like more cushion than 1 run.
Macy Bergeron is on deck. Here's the pitch. Lifted into shallow left field. Dibley on the run, and she's there. She got those long legs moving in the right direction. And Ruderdy is retired on the shallow fly ball to left. This brings on Bergeron, who has hit the ball deep to left. It was caught, and last time reached on an error by the third baseman. Two on, 2 out, 2 in. LSU leading 2-1. 4 of LSU's 5 hits have come in this inning, and they've come consecutively.
Not a lot of hard hit balls, but balls that have gone through holes that accounted for base hits.
There's a liner right at the second baseman, Torres. And Bergeron hits it hard for the second time, but Torres is there to catch it. The Tigers get RBI singles by Pleasance and Gutierrez and move ahead by 1 run. We go to the 6th, LSU 2. Gomez has grabbed a bat, and she'll take her cut as a pinch hitter for Dunham. Right from Berzon. So Berzon, for the first time today, working in the circle with a lead. She has pitched a 2-hitter to this point. That's out of the reach and foul ground of everybody. It will be Louisiana Tech against LSU in the final game of the Purple and Gold Challenge, about 30 or 35 minutes after this one.
What a pitch.
Boy, it is tough to come off the bench and take a look at that hard drop ball, isn't it?
I mean, the people in the lineup are having trouble, so you got to come out cold. She kind of threw that from an angle, like almost like a screwball that dropped.
Here's Moreno at the top of the order. It was Moreno who hit that line drive out to center field in the 3rd inning, in which Briggs made a spectacular diving catch, running full speed toward the infield and just nipping it in the webbing of the glove before it hit the grass.
And you see, she's so effective with that drop ball, she doesn't even have to throw it for strikes.
You've got to be so disciplined. If it starts at the knees, you've got to let it go.
So hard, though, from that short a distance.
It really is. She floats that one over. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Now that was her changeup.
That's the butterfly changeup.
But she's got him guessing. You know, they're trying to see it up, and then she pulls the plug on the speed, and they're frozen.
7 strikeouts for Berzon, including 3 in a row over the last 2 innings. Here's Mundine. Ground ball right side, just past the diving Sierra Daniel. So Mundine collects the 3rd hit for the Cowgirls. It's her first. And the tying run is at first base. Yeah, we may have a pinch runner.
Looks like that's what's going to happen.
Runner for McNeese, now first base, number 7, Riley Eister. Eister, the new runner for the Cowgirls.
Riley Eister, E-Y-S-T-E-R, is the pinch runner. Berzon rocks and fires and misses on the first pitch. That makes her 16 of 21, Yvette, in throwing first pitch strikes. She has been all over the plate early in the count. The 1-0. Chop toward the second baseman. She was prepared for that funky little hop at the end and turned it into an out. Nicely done by Daniel.
Read it correctly.
So we move forward. LSU carries a 2-1 lead. Gerard, I'm Lynn Rollins. It's late in this game, LSU and McNeese. The Tigers are holding a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 2-1 Tigers. Both teams scored in the 5th, and that's been it. Here's Maddox McKee.
Pitchers duel for sure. Only 8 hits on the day for both teams.
Shaylin Sanders hasn't been quite as good as Berzon, but she has been top-notch for the Cowgirls in this game. Trailing 2-1. LSU finally found its way to the scoreboard with 4 consecutive base hits, all singles, in the 5th inning. Shortstop Reyna is over.
As there's a ball on the field, must have come from their McNeese bullpen.
That fooled me for a moment.
Yeah, I was like, there's 2 balls out there. It's a juggling act. Look at that, we're watching a softball game and the circus breaks out.
Yeah. Speaking of that, this is kind of a stretch, but you've heard of the Savannah Bananas?
I'm really upset.
You didn't get tickets?
No.
They're going to
Who
be here
did?
for 3 days.
Who did?
Well, they sold out.
Randy got him.
They sold out in about 10 minutes. They're going to be here this month, I think, for a 3-night performance.
Randy is like the only person I know for real that has tickets.
Lynch committed on the swing. I met the dancing umpire this winter of the Savannah Bananas.
Fun. I mean, how can they sell out that fast?
They've sold out every performance they've ever done.
But it's, I mean, I was beginning to think it was a scam. It was
There's
like
a waiting
no
list
one
of more
I
than
knew.
100,000 for tickets in Baton Rouge.
I guess Randy's like someone. He got him.
I don't ask too many questions around him. Popped up infield, shortstop Reyna taking charge. 2 outs.
Yes, I've heard of him and I've watched them. Watched him on TV. How entertaining. I just want to see the guy on stilts hit the ball
Sure.
and then run
Ready for the Tigers, Sierra
and not fall.
Here's Daniel. She has walked and flied to left. There's the bunt. Grabbed by the pitcher. Nice play to get it done on 7 pitches. Hey, give Shaylin Sanders some credit. She's pitched a whale of a game. Her team is going to be trailing going into the top of the 7th, but Sanders has been super good for McNeese. LSU 2, Cowgirls.
In 6 innings pitched, 63 pitches, 50 strikes.
Wow.
79% of her pitches are strikes.
Wow, wow, wow. 4 out of every 5 she's thrown has been over the plate.
How fun is that to call pitches for her?
Emily Phillips at the plate. 0 for 2. She's fouled out to first base. She's grounded out to second base. LSU with a 1-run lead in the 7th. 1 run, 3 hits, a couple of errors for McNeese. 2 runs, 5 hits, 4 of those coming in the 6th inning, and 1 error for the Tigers. That pitch got hung up. Phillips has 2 home runs this year, 9 driven in. The pitch. Got it in on the hands a little bit. That's a good place to chunk it to keep it in the ballpark. Berzon has been masterful this afternoon. And she has needed to be against this Cowgirls team.
The offense has kind of gone to sleep here today. Last night it was a nail biter for the Tigers also. They were victorious with the same exact score that we see now.
Exactly. It was 2-1 over the Cowgirls last night. And Berzon now has missed to make it a count of 3-2.
You certainly don't want to walk the leadoff batter.
And it would be her first walk of the game. The pitch. Strike 3.
And it's not her first walk of the game. And here come the T-shirts flying.
8 strikeouts for Berzon. That's the same number she had in her last start. No walks. Only 3 hits allowed. She's looking to go to 6-0 on the year.
And you've got to throw a strike, and she throws a changeup and rings her up.
Here's Bouvier. Lines it into right field and picked on it and pokes it. That's a pick and a poke.
Apropos with the Cowgirls, that's a poke.
I wasn't even thinking like
of that.
I like that. Yeah, thanks for making it seem like that was deliberate.
The Pokes are on first base right now.
That's the tying run at first. We will have a pinch runner, it appears. And this is Brooke Otto. We saw her pinch running yesterday.
Pinch runner for McNeese now at first base, number 2, Brooke Otto. Otto, the new runner for the Cowgirls.
I'm sending her at some point.
Yeah, I think so.
Not like you're hitting the ball all over the park.
And it would take 2 hits off Berzon to score the runner from first base, most likely. Gaspard chops it foul. And it's a good thing because there was a call at second base, safe.
James Landreau not arguing too much.
Remember, it's the position of the ball, not the defender.
Close. It was close.
It very much was. Kelly Gaspard.
He's got some challenges left, doesn't he?
Yeah. Kelly Gaspard doubled and got it started for the Cowgirls in the 6th inning. Yvette, I may be mistaken. I'll have to review my rules, but I think you can't challenge it fair or foul until it gets by first or third. You can challenge fair or foul, but I think it has to be beyond the bags at either first base or third. Here's the 1-2 pitch.
Double play ball.
The Tigers close it out on a 1-6-3 double play. Berzon, Pleasance, Gutierrez turn it over. Double plays are rare in this game.